What is going on, stock market investors? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, and today I'm going to be talking about SoFi stock. Man, the markets have been completely wild the last, 2 weeks or whatever. SoFi peaked at $18, went down to 13 bucks. Now it's trading around $15 per share. In today's video, what I want to do is give you an updated overview of the institutional owners that own SoFi stock. We recently surpassed 50% institutional ownership. We were in that 47 to 48% range for a while, but there's been some big, huge institutional buying over the last few months that have pushed us over 50%. And we're heading towards 60%. So I want to show you guys just how many shares are owned by institutions, how many shares I actually own of SoFi stock, and what I'm doing with my shares moving forward. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more SoFi content. All right, SoFi investors, here's my first little position in SoFi stock. I want to be completely transparent on this channel to let you know I got skin in the game with SoFi stock. All right, in this little baby account, we own, 200 shares, 200.49 shares. At a $9.50 average, we're up 52% in this little baby account. All right. This is the big dog. This is the big dog account. All right. We currently own 4,140 shares of SoFi stock, coming in right around $60,000. Okay. I also own another 300 in an IRA, and I do some work with the stock market for my family. My mom owns around another 500, right? So between this count, 4,200 say, we got another 500 in my mom's account that I help her with, so that's 4,600. And in my IRA, I have 300, so that's 4,900 shares, and then in that other account, that's 200. So 5,100 total shares of SoFi stock. We got skin in the game, so I'm going to try to give you guys the best advice on this stock that I can. All right, SoFi investors, take a look at your screen right now. This is how many shares are owned by institutions. Currently, 573,588,378 SoFi shares are owned by institutions, right? That's coming in at 52% of all the outstanding shares of SoFi stock. So we were just at 47, 48% just a few months ago. So there's been some dramatic institutional buying over the last, let's say 6 months, right? All right, SoFi investors, this is the bar chart of the amount of institutional owners compared to the stock price, right? This line right here that's faintly behind the bar chart, trading around $14, $15, right? And then the blocks are how many institutional owners own SoFi stock. We saw a peak in about, the spring of 2022. Then we saw a sell-off for about a year. And then since late summer of 2023, it's been nothing but buying. Buy, and boom. That's where we're at right now, guys. It's very, very impressive, right? The stock price still hasn't hit and went back to all-time highs, but institutional ownership has. So that means if retail starts piling back in like they did at one point in this stock's history, we could see new all-time highs. That's why my price target for this year is still at that $22, $23 range for SoFi stock, right? So the numbers are huge, man. We're closing in on 600,000 shares owned by institutions. And the more institutions own this stock, the less volatile it really becomes, right? Because most of these institutional owners aren't in and out and flipping and grabbing 5%, 10% here and shaving it just to make a couple percents. They're in it for the long term, right? 573 million shares owned by institutions. That's a big ass number, guys. There's no other way around it. And real quick, I want to show you guys who owns all the SoFi shares. So right now, it's BlackRock and Vanguard. Vanguard has a ton of different SoFi stocks in different funds, right? So BlackRock owns almost 50 million shares. That's freaking insane. And they're continuing to add to their position over 4%. Very, very impressive. And then in this total stock market fund from Vanguard, they're adding to their position too, 6%. And then the Vanguard Small Cap Index Fund, boom, adding 9%. Jane Street Group is the next. Susquehanna International Group, Two Sigma, they're a new investor in SoFi stock, just added a ton of shares, man. Almost 20 million shares. That's a huge rip. Huge rip back in February. And then Vanguard Extended Market Index Fund, there's some shares in there. Citadel, like I said, Jane Street Group. ARK Investment owns around 10 million shares. They've been selling off their position. But the way ARK works, like as a stock goes up, they always sell because they want to keep their portfolio at this very weighted specific point, right? So Palantir, DraftKings, SoFi, as those stocks went up, they continue to sell off a lot of their shares. But Wellington Management Group, Norges Bank added 6 million shares apiece. They're new investors as well. But most of these big dogs are adding to their positions, right? Add. The only people selling right now were Nico Asset Management of Americas. I don't know who the hell that is, and ARK. And Kathy Wood hasn't been the best with timing out her stocks. That's for damn sure. And then Citadel trimmed up a little bit. LMR Partners added as well. So listen, guys. The big fish are adding to their position of SoFi stock. So what am I doing with my shares? I'm selling a lot of puts. I have puts in the 13, 12, 10, all the way down to 8 over the next 6, 12, 18 months. And a cash secured put is, it's an option strategy where like I'm willing to buy SoFi at $12, $10, $8 at a specific strike point. And if it doesn't get down to that level, I just keep the premium that is allotted to me. But if it hits those strike price, I got to buy SoFi at $12, say in June, or $10 in January of next year. But I would love to buy SoFi again at $10 per share. So I like that type of risk. And if not, I just keep the premium and I get to buy shares of stocks that I love, like SoFi stock, right? So that's kind of what I do. And then I'm selling covered calls in that $25, $30 range over the next 6 and 12 months. And if I got to sell at $30 a share, I'm cool with that. But if I think it's going to keep running, I'll just roll that position out to a further strike date at a higher price. All right, guys, I just want to give you an update on the shares for SoFi stock. 52.31%. That's a great spot to be, SoFi investors. Almost 600 million. So I'll make a new video once we hit 600 million in institutional shares. I think it's extremely important as investors we know what the big dogs are doing. Like if they're all selling their shares, maybe that's a cause of concern for us and we might want to look deeper into the stock, into why all these companies are selling. And if they're all buying, we want to dive in deeper too to know why they're buying, and maybe we can take advantage of all these institutions buying now, and then when retail piles in later, we can make some cash money. All right, stock market investors, if you like these kind of SoFi videos, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you tuning into the show, and we'll catch you on the next SoFi video. Peace.